Afternoon, gang. Question for you. How well are you? Obviously, I suppose it depends to some extent on your age, but if, like me, you're in your 50s, just how well are you? Have you got any heart issues? Have you had any run-ins with cancer or suspected cancer? Have you got diabetes? Have you got any other sort of chronic, ongoing health conditions? And if you have, what do you think caused them? So let me show you a very quick video. This is a guy speaking in America. So a lot of what he says is based on American norms, the American medical situation, American illnesses, etc. But in my view, it very much equally applies to this country as well. So have a quick watch of this video.
The more you trust the science, the more likely you are to die. In the next 90 seconds, I can show you how science became the deadliest religion in America. In 1910, Rockefeller funded the Flexner Report. Overnight, natural medicine becomes quackery and pharmaceutical medicine becomes science. The same guy who made billions selling oil is now in charge of what doctors learn. What could go wrong? 1948, the American Heart Association takes $1.7 million from Procter & Gamble, makers of Crisco. Suddenly, saturated fat is evil and seed oils are heart healthy. Today, heart disease is the #1 killer. The science they sold you is responsible for countless deaths. 1985, Philip Morris, the cigarette company, buys General Foods and Kraft. They hire the same scientists who made cigarettes addictive to engineer your food. Now, over 70% of Americans are overweight. Same level of harm, just rebranded as food. Today, there's a fake science institute that infiltrates health organizations worldwide. It's called International Life Sciences Institute. Sounds wholesome, right? Well, it's owned by Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Red Bull, and other food companies. They've influenced obesity policy in China, nutrition guidelines at the World Health Organization, and the experts your doctor trusts. Your evidence-based doctors, your credentialed nutritionists, they're not experts. They're victims. Victims of a system so perfectly corrupted, they can't even imagine they've been duped by it. Medical error is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. We spend more on healthcare than any other nation, and we're the sickest. That's not incompetence. That's the plan working perfectly. Share this before it gets reported or taken down or whatever the hell these gatekeepers do.
Were you aware of that? Were you aware that the things that we've now been told are terrible for us? Fat, full fat, saturated fat, butter, lard, fat on meat, etc., etc. That message was only put out because the ownership of the companies that produced food changed, and it became in their interests to promote seed oils, whether that's sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, and a million other canola oil, loads and loads of other types, as well as heavily processed foods. And so in order to sell those products, in order to grow those markets, in order to steer people away from what you would only describe as natural food, meat, fish, vegetables, natural oils like olive oil, they put out the message that saturated fat was the #1 cause of heart disease. Guess what? It's just not. That's utter bullshit. If you still believe that, you are delusionally wrong, I'm afraid, and you need to rethink. And gradually that message is starting to get out there, but we've got decades and decades and decades of harm behind us. But it's not just heart disease. It's things like diabetes. Diabetes, primary cause is very hard carb diets and processed food diets, and it can be turned around. It can be turned around just by changing your diet. Don't believe what the doctors are telling you. Don't believe that you must be put on statins. You can change almost all of your health through diet. Similarly, so many cancers now are caused by exposure to, use of, consumption of chemicals, plastics, overly processed food. It's a fact. We're not becoming healthier. Progress is not making us healthier. How can it be that obesity has gone through the roof? How can it be that diabetes has gone through the roof? When 80 years ago, our diets were much, much more basic and health regulations were a lot less stringent than they are now. Yet these illnesses have continued to grow. It's all down to diet. What did people used to eat back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, maybe 50s? Very basic food. Meat, potatoes, vegetables, salad, fish. That was it. Nothing came out of a packet. Nothing was processed. They cooked their meats in lard from the animal itself. People were much healthier back then. You can do it too. You can change your diet. Stop eating anything out of packets. We all treat ourselves. I'd be a total hypocrite if I said I ate healthily all the time, because I absolutely don't. But we do try and cook our dinners from fresh 5 nights a week. We'll buy chicken breasts, or we'll buy some pork loin, or we'll buy some mince, or we'll buy some fish, and then we'll make a salad to go with it, or we'll do some rice, or we might make our own chips, or we'll do mashed potato, or whatever it might be. And touch wood, at 57 years of age, my heart is in stonkingly good health. I don't have any chronic diseases, no signs of diabetes, no illness to speak of. I'm never bloody ill. Short of dropping a cracking great weight on my toe 10 days ago, there's never anything wrong with me. And I'm not bragging about that, I'm just saying it is possible. You can all do it. Watch the video again. Watch who he said is involved in this. Look at the companies that are involved in this. Rockefeller, Kraft, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. They're deliberately poisoning you, and they are in cahoots with the medical sector and the medical industry. Because when they have more and more and more ill people to treat, they make more and more money on drugs and on hospital costs. It's a massive, great merry-go-round. They have not got your interests at heart. It's up to you to take ownership of your own life, your own lifestyle, your own welfare and your own food.